What is today, Brooke, the photo shoot watch?
The photo shoot watch, now it's this one.
Yeah.
For sure.
And why?
It's not too precious, but it's really cool.
Okay.
It's vintage in a way, but still feels really current. And there's just something badass about it.
Totally. All right, Brooke, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
You are an actress, an entrepreneur, and a watch collector.
Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, you have a Netflix movie, Castle for Christmas, coming out. You're the founder of Beginning Is Now. I mean, tell us what's going on with you right now. Like, what's happening in the life of Brooke Shields?
It's all sort of gotten really amped up as of late. The movie is coming out.
Oh, you became a writer because of Grandpa. Used to sit and listen to his stories about the castle in Scotland. Haven't you always wanted to go see it?
Yeah. And it's a happy Christmas movie. We all need a little entertainment and just to escape. And there's castles and horses and snow and knitters and dogs. And and there's a duke. And so it's a feel-good movie. Beginning is Now launched about a month ago, and I am in the thick of it. It's my first endeavor as an actual business owner.
That's great. And for those who don't know exactly, what it is, talk a little bit about Beginning Is Now for us.
Beginning Is Now is really, we're calling it a well-being platform, and it's really designed for women who are starting new chapters in their lives and how to sort of harness the strength and sort of find the resilience and the courage to start new things in their lives, pivoting, changing their lives, living in a way that really makes them happy. And I've found over the years that we're less and less represented as we get older. And I think I'm much more in my prime now than I think I ever was. And a lot of women feel that way.
So that's great. Let's talk a little bit about these watches.
Okay.
I mean, I'm seeing such a diverse collection here.
Thus, you could call it that.
It definitely spans different styling, different eras of watchmaking. I kind of want to start off with this one right here, this gold Rolex Datejust.
So, Datejust, I remember thinking that was really cool because you could see, this is when I could see the date on a watch this size.
Sure.
Having a little bit more difficulty with that now, but this was the first really fancy piece of jewelry that I ever had. It was one of those things where my mom, it was almost as if every time we went to Japan, we bought a watch. The first one I ever got, which my daughter now has on her wrist, it was the two-tone, the stainless steel and gold one. And I just loved that watch, and I felt very grown up. And then we transitioned to
all
gold.
Full gold.
We went full gold.
Yeah.
Did not have the ring around it with the diamonds. That came the following year.
Okay.
So we worked up to the diamonds, and it just, I don't know, I felt really classy.
Yeah, I mean, gold will do that.
With a gold Rolex, how can you go wrong? But my mom, she loved watches, and that was always the thing that she said will never really depreciate. But they became periods of time in my life more than anything, and it really does it's sort of indicative of this. These two, one was given to me by Piaget, and my mom bought this one, and this was my first evening watch. So I would wear this at night.
Your dress watch.
My dress watch to like black tie functions. And it was important to be able to switch your watch out at night.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everyone has to have a dress watch, so this is pretty fantastic.
And I just loved how thin and delicate it was. This now would feel diminished on me. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
But when I was
absolutely
younger, it just fit me perfectly. This one, my mom, it was another commercial that I did in Japan, and she had some kind of a hookup.
Yeah,
where a guy.
Hookup. I know a guy
I got
in
a guy.
Japan.
I got a guy in Japan.
When we land, we're going to go see the guy.
So we saw the guy.
So what is it that you love about this watch? I mean, for me, it's just, you can see there's no shortage of diamonds on it.
I think you gotta like the diamonds.
Yeah,
I think the fact that the whole face is not even encrusted, it's just embedded with
exactly.
diamonds.
Like glistens with diamonds.
It's just a bed of diamonds.
There's even a diamond in the crown. Like there's no diamond left unencrusted.
No. You'd kind of think, oh, there's something like, is that too much? And for some reason, I adapted very quickly.
Yeah, we went from two-tone to gold to gold and diamonds and just 100% diamonds.
This is clearly this is the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here. For some reason, even though it seems ostentatious to be, 17 and own these things, they were always associated with work. So I always felt like they didn't feel like vanity as much as they felt like I earned
it. Absolutely.
And the work was always like gazillions of hours. For instance, this one I was in Italy working for Bulgari, and they gave me this watch, but they also gave me a beautiful necklace. And that sort of era of jewelry and different designers of that time, they really had personalities to their jewelry, and so the watches to me were equally as, like, for a lot of people, watches are watches. For me, they're always really important pieces of jewelry. I can't imagine not wearing one. This Rolex, I was sort of starting to date this guy, and his father had been in love with my grandmother. And he was told by his father, if you ever see the granddaughter, if you ever meet this young woman or whatever, you must tell her I loved her grandmother, So anyways, like that kind of a story. And then he said it was like a symbol. We were supposed to date, and he was this Italian, very dapper guy. And I said, I like that watch. Just saying I liked it. I didn't, I didn't mean anything by it, not like I liked it, can I have it? We're not the follow-up words. And he got out of the cab and I had to go downtown. And instantly he said, because your eyes are so beautiful. And he took it off and he threw it in the cab, but the cab was already going. And I was like, no, I can't take this, I can't take it.
Wow.
So there you go. That's how you get a watch.
That's exactly how you get a watch.
I loved it. His name is on it. And
right on the clasp.
Yeah, right on the clasp. And then when he passed away, I located his brother. And I said, hey, listen, your brother gave me this 20 years ago. I said, you might want it. You should have it back, because you should have it from him. And he said, no. He said, if he gave it to you, he meant for you to have it.
Well, I noticed you were wearing it today. I mean,
yeah.
How often do you wear it?
I wear it a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't wear it for a long time. And then just about 10 years ago, I started wearing it a lot more often and rotating it in.
So I noticed, like, as the progression we've gone through, it is decidedly different from all of the ones that have come before. So what is it about this watch that you really like so much?
I love the size of this. There's just something really masculine but really sexy about it to me. You could pick this guy out. He's like James Bond or somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
To me, that would be his daytime watch or something. So I always vacillated between Cartier and Rolex. When my sisters graduated from college, my dad bought them a Cartier watch, and I didn't get a Cartier watch when I graduated from college, so I bought my own.
Okay.
There's nothing personal about it. It's just I wanted one.
You're not still harboring this as I didn't get one, my sisters got one.
Because I was wearing my Rolex most all the time, and I don't know why my dad was probably like, oh, she doesn't need another watch. But I wanted to be just like my sisters, so I got this watch for myself when I was doing Suddenly Susan. And so in Suddenly Susan, you see me wearing this watch mostly. So this watch was my wedding present from my current husband, as I like to call it. And I loved the pink face. It was the first time I'd ever gotten a color, like a pink or a hue of a color in this.
And is that engraved on the back
as
well?
Yes, this one is engraved on the back, and it says, Hello, Love, 5/26/2001. This Rolex, I won in a jet ski competition. Jean-Claude Van Damme and I we were competing against each other, and we had to do these barrel racing with it. I forget who my partner was, but I had my thighs on him like a thigh master, and I was leaning over, and I turned into Gumby, and I got whatever we were supposed to get.
Yeah.
And we got back to the front. And
so it was extremely competitive in the moment.
Extremely competitive.
You needed to beat Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And when you beat Jean-Claude Van Damme in anything physical, you get a watch.
You get a Rolex.
You get a Rolex.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good knock-around watch to me. I get a lot of it.
It seems like the perfect everyday watch.
Yeah.
I mean, of everything here, it's the most sort of unassuming. You can just throw it on and forget about it.
Exactly. This was my sort of homage. I just switched the band. I just put a blue band just for the summer. Sort of my homage to the women like Grace Kelly and,
Sure.
Princess Diana and Jackie O, and just sort of women that just epitomized grace and class and style, and it just made me feel very chic.
It's like the most classic watch in so many ways.
Yeah, so that was when I was in that phase of my life, which was I wanted everything to be very monochromatic and very
classic.
Yep. And then this one, I wanted a rose gold watch. I just wanted a rose gold man's Rolex. And when I got Lipstick Jungle, when we started filming in New York, I went and got this for myself for getting the show.
The dial is pretty outrageous looking. I'm so interested by it. Yeah,
crazy.
It is. It's also extremely heavy though.
It's really
so when
heavy.
you put this thing on, it's like you have to do some wrist exercises to be able to to manage it.
Again, it's amazing how easy it is to adapt.
So I definitely see Rolex and Cartier kind of command the collection. What is it about those two brands that speaks to you?
They mostly just emotional. I think that growing up, if you could get a Rolex, it meant so much.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It just meant that there was something very substantial and definitely fancy about it. Not just a status thing. All of my watches are associated with work for the most part. They just seemed the best combination of function and fashion. There was something rugged about them and really, I never took it off. I never took it off when I went to bed, showered, swam, nothing. That's what Rolex meant to me in the early days. And then Cartier symbolized more of my New York roots, like my sort of the flip side of
You're a lifelong New Yorker.
I'm born and raised, So that was something that you looked forward to, when you saw the store. My dad was late one night. He was walking in front of the store and he was like lighting a cigarette with his buddies, and as a joke, he went to go open the door to go into Cartier, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and the door was open.
Oh my goodness.
And the alarm didn't go off or anything like that, and he panicked and called the police, and he saved them from being robbed.
So he did Cartier service.
He did. I think they gave him a keychain.
Your fortress is unguarded at the moment. You better do something about it.
Someone had forgotten.
All right, Brooke, you're somebody that's involved in a lot of things. On any given day, who knows what you might be doing. So I'm going to try to ask you to pair a watch with an event or an activity that might pop up day to day. Let's just see, try to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Let's see what might happen here.
Watch games.
What is today, Brooke, the photo shoot watch?
The photo shoot watch, now it's this one.
Yeah.
For sure.
And why?
It's not too precious, but it's really cool.
Okay.
It's vintage in a way, but still feels really current. And there's just something badass about it.
Totally. All right, so moving on, what is sort of the business watch, the entrepreneur's watch? You got a big meeting, what are you going to wear?
I'm going to wear this one.
Yeah.
Serious enough, it's classic enough, it's expensive enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's not too in your face.
And it's recognizable.
Right.
People know what that is from across the boardroom, which is a cliche, but it's true. All right, what is just around the neighborhood? We're doing grocery shopping, we're picking up coffee.
I'm going to say this one. You can see it really clearly. They're knockaround watches. God, you're thinking Rolex is a knockaround watch.
But that's what makes them have value. You spend, they're expensive, sure, but they're going to last. And they might they'll outlive all of us. That's the cool thing about them. Listen, Brooke, this has been great. Thanks for, sharing your collection with us. It's been amazing to see this sort of progression from the beginnings of your career. It's really a fantastic sort of variety of watches that you've built over the years.
Well, thank you. I used to have a problem with that. I was looking at some of the other segments.
Sure.
And they all have a through line, and there's a type. But this is indicative of my whole life.
It's you.
And
the through line
career.
is you. That's right.
It's I'm this person and I'm that person.
Yeah.
So why not celebrate it and be okay with it, right?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.